In 40-ish spins, we're getting a Nintendo Direct focused on third-party games. Okay, I think we're live here. I've got to finish writing my little Blue Sky post, but I'll be with you all in a second. Hopping on Twitch early to do predictions, bingo, then react to trailers together. Live now. Hello everyone, I'm just about good here. I gotta do my little social post. And then I gotta pop out the chat. Hey Nurg, hello Inner World. Cozy crafting game to a bingo square. We'll see. I want to put some stuff that's a little more specific before we go cozy crafting game, but I do think we'll probably get a cozy crafting game. That feels pretty safe. Hello, Tara. Where do I start? So, things that I think are good starting points. I'm going to start with some of the really easy things, because there's a couple of things that have, there's a couple of things that have leaked today that we'll put as placeholders, and maybe we'll replace them with more interesting stuff as we go. Sepultura Chavez, more excited to see the notification for Laura streaming than the direct itself. I'm here! Welcome! Hello, everyone. Pika is hoping for an Oblivion remaster. I think we're going to see some Microsoft today. I don't think Oblivion remaster. Some stuff has leaked that leads me to think a direction we might be going. Hello, Predacanga. Hello, the BT. Civ 7 news is a square due to the update news to fix the game. Not much I know about, but if you want to give me an update on what the news there is, maybe that's a space. Kingdom Hearts collection for Switch 2, I do think that's coming. My only question is, for anyone who bought the cloud, like the cloud access versions on Switch 1, will they get access to the native Switch 2 version? Will they be expected to purchase again? I don't know what the deal there is. Like, is there an upgrade path between the two? The new Forza has not been confirmed for Switch 2. That is a series that I think would scale very well to Switch, and it sold very well on PlayStation. I do think at some point we'll get a Forza on here. So, where am I going to start? We got a surprise Peggy rating today for Hollow Knight Switch 2. Switch 2 edition of the first Hollow Knight. Seems like it is probably a thing that's going to shadow drop today, I would imagine. We got a bit of info about this. Overwatch 2 is being renamed Overwatch, and it's getting a Switch 2 native version. I reckon that's probably showing up today. I think this is a nice, easy space to start with. I'm going to go for some of the easy stuff. The Switch 2 doesn't currently have a YouTube app, and YouTube keeps talking about the fact it's coming in early February. I think, like, that just drops today. It's like a little footnote. I don't know if we see that today, but I think it drops today. Here's my prediction. This is not a rumor I've seen anyone make, but this is based on a press release said that Star Trek Voyager... There's a Star Trek Voyager game coming in, like, 2 weeks. It's got demos on PC. They said there's a Switch 2 demo coming early February. I think that demo drops today. So I think the Star Trek Voyager game gets a Switch 2 demo today. Limbo Plus has replaced YouTube on the Switch 2 for me. Witcher 3 Switch 2 edition, I do think it's coming. I don't know if we see that today. One of the wilder rumors that's been doing the rounds this last, like, day or so that I'm gonna put on here for now. Maybe we replace it. Black Myth Wukong. Apparently there's a Black Myth Wukong port in the works. We're gonna put that on a square for now. One that I think is just sensible timing-wise, FF7 Part 2. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 released pretty recently. It reviewed very well. It was a very good port. Rumors are that Part 2 is going to release in the summer. I think if you do a trailer for that now and just show a little bit of the open world so people go, oh, okay, the open world stuff will also run okay on Switch too. Tease that it's coming in the summer, don't even say a month. I reckon that probably releases in June, so that in June at Summer Games Fest they can talk about Part 3 and start promo for that. It's probably going to drop on all platforms at the same time, would be my guess. Hopefully we'll get a Nintendo Direct for first-party games. The rumor is next week or the week after. Like, February is going to be Partner Direct today. In the next 2 weeks, a first-party Direct. End of the month, Pokemon Presents. It seems like this month is going to be real full. The week of the 12th, we're supposedly also getting a PlayStation State of Play. This month feels like a real big month for, like, go, 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 here's the news. So yeah, let's... Hey, Jeffrey. It shows how good I am at my job that I had no idea this Direct was a thing. I only know because I have Nintendo's stupid proprietary app. That's how they now announce news. They don't announce news any other way anymore. You have to have the proprietary app to know things. Okay, Resident Evil 9 guff, we know that that's coming day and date. I reckon we probably see, like, a little trailer for Resident Evil 9 and Pragmata. Resident Evil 9 and Pragmata, there's footage floating around online of, like, a recent press event of them. Both of them are running at 60 FPS on Switch 2 and looking real good. Capcom really has worked out, like, the RE engine scales really nicely to Switch 2. Things I'm going to put here, I think RE9 footage is, like, a really easy guess, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some slightly wilder Capcom predictions. I reckon we get a demo for Pragmata. I think we get a Pragmata demo. There's already one on PC. I think we get one on Switch too. But also... Monster Hunter Wilds. Portal is on the Switch, yeah. Portal and Portal 2 are already on the Switch. So, here's why I think Monster Hunter Wilds, despite the fact that it doesn't run well on Xbox or PlayStation, data miners have found new graphics presets in the PC version of Monster Hunter that are labeled to suggest that they are Switch presets. Where they're setting the graphics to and what upscalers they are trying to reference definitely makes it look like they accidentally put the new, like, the Switch presets they were working on somewhere in the PC files. That game did not sell as much as they needed it to, and they need to recoup some of the costs on it. If they can get it running on Switch 2, Monster Hunter games have always sold better on handhelds. I think we get a tease for that today. There's a Pragmata demo on PC, or there was. I would love to see the Mass Effect Collection, Legendary Collection, get a port to Switch 2. I think it'll inevitably happen. I don't know if we see it today. Maybe we see it today. Maybe I put it on here later. There was a leak surrounding BlazBlue. What's the bloody name of it? Entropy Effect X? So for now, I'm going to put that on a square. I would love to see a Monster Hunter Edition Switch 2. It'd be pretty cool. Okay, Xbox predictions. So, some stuff leaked. So for now, I'm going to put on here the stuff that is, like... I'm going to start by putting on the stuff that is, like, pretty much guaranteed because it leaked earlier today in a single square, which is... Indiana Jones plus Fallout 4 release dates. I'm not going to list the release dates here, but physical versions of Indiana Jones and Fallout 4 and Skyrim for Switch 2 all got their release dates leaked earlier today. So I think, like, that's pretty much a certainty. Pokemon could show up in a partner showcase. I think it's much more likely to be held for a few weeks from now and show up in the Pokemon Presents. I think that makes a lot more sense for it. Fallout 4 on Switch 2. Milk your shit game, Bethesda. Yeah, what do we think? I might delete this for now. Part of me thinks that we see something Call of Duty. today. South of Midnight we know is coming to Switch 2. I'm gonna tentatively put South of Midnight Shadow Drop. South of Midnight feels like it might be a digital-only Shadow Drop release, that it'll just be like, and it's out now, it's out today. We know that they're doing a Switch 2 port of it. Is Skyrim on Switch 2 yet? There was an update for Skyrim to work on Switch 2, and it kind of made the game run worse. It was not a good update. Tentatively, the rumors have been swirling around Death Stranding for the longest time. I reckon it's probably happening. Okay, what else did I have on the list? We know that 007... Oh. Sorry, my apologies. Okay, we have actual Nintendo Direct music, so I'm going to stop the Monster Hunter backing track for a minute. We'll put this chill background music on, I guess. What was I saying? 007 First Light. We know that that's coming. We believe it's day and date. If it's day and date, this game's coming in May. It makes sense for us to see a trailer of how this runs on Switch 2. So for now, I'm going to tentatively put that on here. Oh, it's not a rumor. There is a Switch 2 version of The Binding of Isaac coming. It's going to bring along with it the update that I've been waiting for, which is you stand next to an item and it tells you what that item is in plain text rather than you having to know what the item is. Yeah. Binding of Isaac. You know what? I'm going to do a square that is Ed McMillan. Be it Binding of Isaac update, Eugenics getting a Switch 2 version. I don't know what version or what I put here. I've not put Resident Evil Requiem because it's an easy pick. We know it's coming. There is footage of it running. I guarantee it'll appear very quickly and we'll see a little footage, but also there's already footage and we already know its release date and that it's coming day and day. Resident Evil Requiem's not an interesting thing to put on the bingo card, you know? Alice Alankill, thank you very much for the 42 months of sub. Happy direct day indeed. What else did I have on this list? Okay, so we know that Resident Evil 7, 8, and 9 are coming to Switch 2. I'm going to do a different Resident Evil prediction. Resident Evil 2/3/4. I think the remakes of 2, 3, and 4 are also coming. We're doing 7, 8, and 9 at once. 2, 3, and 4 will be a batch that will all come out. Do we think there's any chance of Kingdom Hearts coming to Switch 2 as non-cloud versions? I do think there's a chance. My big question is how they price it. If you already own the cloud version that you have to play over streaming, do you get a discount on this version? Like, I don't know how they're going to price-wise that. You know what? Let's give it a square. Kingdom Hearts Collection. Maybe I delete some of these, but for now, I'm putting this on here. I reckon we see another Yakuza tease. So far, basically every Nintendo Direct we've had since the launch of the Switch, since the Switch 2's launch, has revealed another Yakuza port is coming. We've had Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2, Kiwami 3. I think, I'm going to put in brackets, I think it's going to be like a dragon. I think it's going to be the first Ichiban RPG is going to get announced. I think we're still going to get 4, 5, 6 at some point, but I think 0 through 3, we take a break, we start doing the Ichiban ones, we come back and do 4, 5, 6 when there's been some breathing room. Yeah, well, tell us a link, Kill, for the Kingdom Hearts thing. It's not even about what the price is, it's about setting a precedent for games that we released on Switch 1, but you didn't own them physically, you were only streaming them in. What is the precedent for? Does that count as you having purchased the game and we should, as a courtesy, let you upgrade to this physical new version? Or is it, no, this is a whole separate thing, buy it full price again. Like, I don't know how you avoid, like, what steps do you take to avoid pissing people off who bought the cloud version, which I can't imagine is many people at all, but, like, yeah, question marks. Like, I'm just genuinely very curious what precedent they will set there, right? One that we, like, kind of know because the dev teased it, Orbitals. Orbital seems like it's coming. Yeah, I think the way to do it would be some degree of discount. If you bought the fucking cloud version, honestly, you deserve to have that money forgiven. Here you go, it runs on your actual machine now. You paid the price that everyone else did to have the game run on their machine. We should probably just let you have it run on your machine if you fucking bought that. You bought that bullshit. Something Doom, yeah, I've been mulling over whether I think Doom the Dark Ages will get a port to Switch too. I think there's already too much stuff that I think is going to come from Microsoft earlier than that. That I'm not putting Doom the Dark Ages down today. Despite the fact that, like, this week is, I think, the 30th anniversary of id Software, so maybe they'd want to go, it's literally this week is the 30th anniversary, here's Doom the Dark Ages announced. Neoxon said Nate the Hate leaked Resident Evil 2 Remake and 3 Remake is eventually coming. Did he? Or did he say, I predict they're coming? Because I say this, I listened to the latest Nate the Hate predictions podcast. I've seen a lot of people reporting shit from that podcast that went up yesterday as Nate the Hate announced that it's happening. He leaked that it's happening. For a bunch of stuff that was his gut instinct predictions of what's coming. So I'm very cautious when I see people in this 24 hours say Nate the Hate announced something's happening. I'm like, yeah, did he? Or did he say, I'm going to predict it's happening? He heard both were coming in a previous podcast, he doesn't know when. Yeah, I've heard as much, which is why I put 2, 3, and 4, because I also think they're coming. I don't think he has said they're going to be in today's Direct, therefore it's still fair game for me to guess that they might happen today. Haunted Chocolatier. Blueprints. I'd love to see a Blueprints port. I don't know. I would love to... You know what? Let's put it down. This is wishful thinking more than... I don't think it's happening today, but I want to put a wishful thinking space on, you know. Do you think... do you really think level 5 will be a no-show today, Laura? When did I say that, Rule Spider? I never said that I thought... You're putting words in my mouth. I did not say that I thought level 5 would be a no-show. I think that if we're talking Professor Layton, which is level 5, despite the fact they are technically a third party, I would expect more to see them in a first party direct. There is rumors of a main Nintendo Direct coming in like 2 weeks. I think, like, here's the thing. I think 2 weeks from now would make way more sense for Professor Layton. It's not that I don't think an announcement is imminent for Professor Layton. I think it makes a main direct. It's also why I think when we're talking about like the Xbox stuff, I've put Indiana Jones and Fallout release dates and not like... the reason I'm not putting down like Doom the Dark Ages is because I think that some of those Xbox ports that I do think are coming, despite being third party, are big enough they would make it into a main Nintendo Direct, you know? Abby Chowder, Expedition 33 and Metaphor ReFantazio, I will get to in a moment. I do think both are coming at some point. I gotta mull over whether I think we put them on today's board, but trust me, I've got them written down with where we're gonna get there. Didn't level 5 have a big We Embrace AI kerfuffle lately? They might have done, I don't know. If they did, sources, someone look it up. I don't know off the top of my head. A Switch 2 version of Persona 5 Royal, I'd like to see it, but also, let's be honest, the Switch 1 version is fine. That is not a game that really needs, like... Yeah, sure, it'd be nicer if it ran at a higher resolution at 60 FPS, but also... That game is entirely playable and serviceable in the Switch 1 version. Of the games that I am itching for a Switch 2 port of, but the Persona 5 Royale, like, that's a perfectly serviceable port already. I'm not itching for a update. Neoxon's asking about fighting games. I've got one on here. What have I got? I've got BlazBlue Entropy Effect X. I would love to see Tekken 8, 2XKO, Fatal Fury, etc., etc. I don't know enough about the fighting game scene to know what's a reasonable prediction there. It's not my space. Look, I said yesterday Final Fantasy 14, but we don't have 13 to 16 on Switch 2. I just want 13. Okay, let's talk Final Fantasy. Let's talk Final Fantasy for now. I do believe the rumors that Final Fantasy 16 will get a Switch 2 port. Don't know if it happens today. Today, Final Fantasy 14, I do reckon could just be a shadow drop today. You know what? Let's put these spaces on for now. Expedition 33. Metaphor, Fantasio. For now, I'm giving them spaces. I don't know if we'll replace those spaces, but for now we're putting them on there. There is not a list of developers or publishers features today. They've not given a list for this one. Oh, that BlazBlue isn't a fighting game, it's a spin-off. Well, Neoxon, that tells you how little I know about fighting games. I saw the words BlazBlue and went, BlazBlue's fighting games, right? Do we still believe Final Fantasy IX Remake exists? I believe it exists. I don't believe we hear anything until Remake Part 3 is out. Room Factory has a game in the works we have no info on. Despite being third party, for some reason my gut says it would be 2 weeks from now in the main direct. I don't know why my heart says that. Final Fantasy 14 probably needs an open beta before launch like the Xbox version. I don't know what Nintendo's stance on stuff like that is. Rule Spider says Expedition 33 on Switch 2 is coming, but I'm not sure about we're going to see anything about it today. Sandfall were interviewed in France while the game was exploding in popularity. They said they didn't expect to be a smashing hit that way, so they didn't work at all on a port yet, only now investigating the feasibility of it. I don't believe it's coming anytime soon, but a year after surprise global success, I would be surprised if Nintendo hadn't thrown them dev kits. I don't think it's too early to get, like, a logo tease and a 2027 or whatever. Something to go, hey, we know the demand for it, it's coming. I don't think it's likely, but I'm giving it a space for the moment. I don't think it's impossible. Apologies, let me put a space between the thing here. I didn't intentionally do one with a space and one without. I'm trying to read chat, I'm juggling, I'm hopping all over the place. Peak, Repo, are we there yet? I don't know, because of the fact that those games have to be online to play, there is no offline content. I don't know how big of a rush those devs are to get onto a platform that is a portable platform. Okay, we've already got nearly a 25 board. We got space for one more thing, and then we're gonna have to start deleting stuff to make space for more things. Which I'm not saying we won't. I'm trying to work out, like, where are our priorities right now? Content warning was confirmed to be coming to Switch, wasn't it? Maybe it was. I'll be honest, it's not a game I know much about. Which one's content warning? Is this the one I think it is? Co-op. Oh, this is the one where you film like spooky stuff happening. Yeah, allegedly it's coming. I don't know enough to know how soon to expect that. Like, it's not that I don't think it's a reasonable prediction, it's that I'm not putting it on my bingo because it's a little too outside of my wheelhouse to know whether I'm making a risky or a safe prediction with it, you know? Dispatch is on Switch yet. That's a whole thing that's going on at the moment. currently that game forces censorship of nudity and swearing. It is getting patched in some territories to change that soon. It's a whole thing. Okay. No, Peak is not currently on Switch. Yeah, Among Us was a big success on Switch, but it was also like a very easy port job for a pick up and put down. It's a thing that's on like every device, so like, oh, I've got a Switch in my bag, you've got a phone, we can make do with any mix match of devices. It was a very specific kind of experience, that one. Okay, how long have we got? We got 15 minutes. We got 15 minutes to mull this over. You mentioned games needing to be online all the time, not being good on a mobile system. Would that not apply to Final Fantasy XIV? I think there is a difference between a game that people think of as... How do I even put this? It's not to say that online-only games cannot be on Switch. There certainly are some that exist. There are some that only have online modes that get ported to Switch. I think if you are a big enough game from a big enough publisher, like a Square Enix or whatever, you make that decision regardless. I think if you are an indie, a console port is a question mark proposition with the budget you have available, when you know that this system has a player base who cannot be guaranteed to be online. I think that, like, financially, a big company is more willing to take the risk on, yeah, there's a market of people who play their Switch at home, exclusively at home, who'll play an online-only MMO. I think if you're an indie, I'm not saying that they won't port it, I'm saying I'm not going to put my money on, say, Peak being ported, because I've seen enough indie developers who have backed away from doing ports because they've gone, well, yeah, but I don't know that they'll be online. It's been a thing that's popped up enough times that I'm like, I've seen it be a recurrent thought from developers, even if I don't think it necessarily is a thing they should be worrying about. Does that make sense? Can isn't on Switch. I would love to see a Can port. I've been playing Can recently. It's a real good game. Yeah, I know that predicting Final Fantasy XIV but not predicting Peak seems counterintuitive. This is not a logically consistent bingo board. This is me following my heart, following my soul, feeling the vibes. I've spent more than a decade doing this as my full-time job. Where does my heart lie on this? Bayonetta Trilogy Switch 2 Edition Pack. I would love a Switch 2 upgrade for Bayonetta 3. I would fucking love that. Luminez Arise port? Did Luminez Arise not come to Switch? I mean, that feels like a very reasonable port. Yeah, but Corin Silver, Pokopia is very possible. I only think the fact that Pokemon Day and the Pokemon Day Direct is 3 weeks away is why we don't see it today. I think that the Pokemon Company has, like, probably one big trailer for Pokopia to drop this month, and they're probably going to save it for Pokemon Day. If this was December, I'd say, yeah, maybe we see Pokopia. Sky Black says, as someone who's been in a team trying to port to the Switch, it's also super difficult for indie games to do. Yeah. Incompetent Hero says, I wonder if we'll get any PlayStation stuff. You know what? I've been thinking about PlayStation for this last space. I have been saying this for a while, and I have no proof, and I think it is probably a wildly unlikely thing. But I want to follow my heart here, and maybe I delete this later. I think a port of Spider-Man to the Switch, the PS4 Spider-Man to Switch 2, something in my heart tells me that PlayStation's kind of open to that. And I could not tell you why. Could not tell you why I think that. But I'm putting it on here for now. And maybe I delete that. I think something from that era of like God of War 2018, Spider-Man, PS4, something of that ilk feels more... Corin Silver says that's fair, but they did show ZA in a direct just after Pokemon Presents. Yes, just after Pokemon Presents. Pokemon Presents got to be the place that had the first look at the cool thing for that period of time, and then you got whatever was left in a direct later. Pokemon likes to... They don't like having the other presentations in February, earlier in February, jump the gun on them. Right? Sackboy: A Big Adventure would do numbers on a Nintendo console. There's a few PlayStation games that I could see being the one that might happen. I'm putting Spider-Man there for no logical reason, just... Actually, you know what? You know what we need to find a space for? The Duskblood. Elden Ring and the Duskbloods. Elden Ring and the Duskbloods. What do we take off of here to put Elden Ring on? You know what? Call of Duty. We're taking Call of Duty off. If Call of Duty... If in 2 weeks we're getting a main Nintendo Direct, that's where we see Call of Duty. Elden Ring. What's Elden Ring's release date? We get a release date. We see a trailer that looks a little better performance-wise. I want to put the Duskbloods on here. What do I take off to put the Duskbloods on? Orbitals is a boring pick. They leaked that they're going to be here anyway. That's not an interesting pick. That's a thing we basically know. I reckon we put the Duskbloods on here. Would Pokemon even be in a partner direct rather than first-party title? Pokopia is being developed by Koei Tecmo, so it's in a weird, straddled position where it is technically being developed by a partner company. An Astrobot port to Switch 2 would do fucking numbers. I don't know if that happens. Why don't I condense Final Fantasy 14 and 16 to just Final Fantasy? Because I don't want to. I think they're two separate thoughts in my head. If I delete something, I'm probably going to delete Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 14 is a separate thought that I want to keep. Because if I condense them down to Final Fantasy, then A, I'm just scattershotting way too easily. If either one happens, I win. That's too easy a prediction. But B, if I then want to delete something, I'm deleting both of them. I want to keep them separate. Switch 2 update for Akami and The World Ends With You with mouse controls would be lovely. I don't see it coming. Yeah, if I'm putting just a Final Fantasy square, then, like, I guess I roll in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, and, like... Okay, we got 7 minutes. Chat, you got 7 minutes to convince me that something else deserves a space on this board. Probably less than... Okay, 6 minutes. And less than that, because I've got to screenshot this and, like, move it into MS Paint, ready to tick things off. How am I doing in Fantasy Reviews League? None of my stuff is released yet, so I'm still entirely hypothetical. I can tell you my predicted place in the Fantasy Critic League. If you remind me after the Nintendo Direct ends, I can look it up. New Fatal Frame? We know that Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly remake is, like, really soon, and that's coming to Switch too. So I don't think we see anything new Fatal Frame until after that's out. The aura of this being where they reveal 7 Remake Part 3 would be great, but, like, they're not gonna do that until... They're gonna show off Remake Part 2. Give that time to breathe. I don't see Remake Part 3 getting revealed until the summer. Yeah, you know, I could change Spider-Man to Sony to be, you know, still unlikely but more likely to win. Nah, fuck it, I'm keeping to my instincts. My gut says Spider-Man, I'm putting Spider-Man on a space. Maybe if something different PlayStation shows up, I give myself a half tick, but, like, I'm taking some risks. Where's the fun in putting boring, predictable spaces? I want to take some chances. I want to put some risky spaces on the board. Oh, you know what? I'm taking Final Fantasy 16 off. I'm putting Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush. I still think it's coming. Hi-Fi Rush Switchport, says Nurg. Yeah, exactly. Jasper exists, says my brain keeps auto-completing Ed McMillan to Ed Miliband. NK Man, yeah, the Xanadu stuff is probably happening, but like, I'm leaning away from the stuff that like companies have gone, ooh, something's coming early February, wink, wink, wink. If they've winked it a bit too hard, and I say that with like the Star Trek Voyager demo, that's me making an inference. That's not their wink, wink, wink at me, but PlayStation All Stars on Switch. Yeah, I'm following the Spidey senses. I'm just letting the Spidey senses do their thing. Nah, 9 remake we don't see until after 7 Part 3, I don't think. I'm currently predicted 2nd place in Fantasy League. My Fantasy League standings entirely depend on whether a new Half-Life game exists or not. After saying I was going to play it safer this year than I did last year, I swung for the fences and predicted Half-Life 3, and entirely my fortunes entirely hinge on Half-Life 3's existence. Ooh. A non-cloud version of Control. What would I take off of here to put Control on? Anything that I would... No, we got 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes, haven't we? Let me just check. It's 2.5 minutes. Fuck it, we're locking in. We're locking in. Next step. Randomize my positions. This is my bingo board. Let's look at the middle row. South of Midnight Shadow Drop, Egg McMillan, Star Trek Voyager, Black Myth Wukong. Okay. Column, Hollow Knight Switch 2, Resident Evil ports, Star Trek Voyager, Hi-Fi Rush, Overwatch. Yeah, possible. Diagonals, Elden Ring, 007, Star Trek, Kingdom Hearts, Metaphor, possible. Other diagonal, Pragmata, Monster Hunter Wilds, YouTube Switch 2, Spider-Man, less likely. Rose, Pragmata, middle row, maybe. Bottom row, maybe. Columns. Leftmost column, maybe. Second column, maybe. Fourth column, maybe. Okay, it's some risks. We've got about a minute left, so I'm going to screenshot this. I'm gonna go over to the Nintendo Direct. Open MS Paint and pop this in here. Oh no, I've got the sort of floating pencil icon over it. Okay, we're gonna have to make do. I'm gonna have to make do with the weird pencil icon over my predictions bingo, but that'll do. We've got the predictions. And we have about 30 seconds to go. And I gotta shrink my window around. Oh, why can't I make that stupid MS Paint window any smaller? Okay. Well, it's here. We make do. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, what do we got? This is half an hour long today. about as long as we spent predicting is how long this is going to run. Which is pretty lengthy for a partner direct. Okay, what's our opener? Oh!
Deep in space, a research station was suddenly struck by a cosmic storm.
Is this Orbitals?
15 years later, its survivors are living.
Yeah, we've seen this before. This looks really fucking cool. I forget what it's called. Is this the one that's called Orbitals? Yeah, Orbitals. I took this off the bingo board because they kind of teased they were going to be here.
Explorers must now
it looks so fucking cool, this game.
And save all that's left of their home. Teamwork
yeah, I took it off because it was too easy.
Two-player co-op adventure.
Right, done this look rad as hell.
Tools to survive. The scrap hook.
Oh, you got this on Fantasy Critic, hell yeah.
So you can carve a path forward. The liquid launcher blasts water to activate mechanisms and cool down scorching surfaces. And the
I'm glad we're seeing more developers try and do the split fiction thing.
Destroy obstacles, open doors, and more.
I'm glad we're seeing not just Joseph Fares do this.
And you might discover unexpected solutions to puzzles.
Oh, me and Jane are 100% going to end up playing this.
While exploring, you can encounter strange life forms, or opt for a detour and take a little travel break. With GameShare, two players can adventure together locally.
I'm really glad GameShare is like being done as a thing more frequently.
Can these two brave explorers
it works pretty well.
Their home?
I haven't played Populcum, but it's on my to play list.
Launches exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system this summer.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Everyone. Welcome to today's Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. In this presentation, we'll be focusing on games from our publishing and development partners coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch systems. What you just saw was Orbitals, launching exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2
what
this
resolution
summer.
are we at?
We hope you're looking forward to
Let me at least pop this up to 1080p.
We hope you're looking forward to this intergalactic co-op puzzle adventure.
Why do we go? What?
Okay, let's
we
take
get
a look at some
subtitles?
upcoming Nintendo Switch games.
No subtitles. So these are coming to Switch 1, and also Switch 2. Ooh, hello. Why does this feel Ace Attorney to me?
In the waters of Issei Bay, on an island where legends of mermaids have been passed down, a tale of mysteries and curses stirs. The latest Paranormasight mystery adventure is coming to the Nintendo Switch system. The story follows Yuza Miyakuchi, a boy who works as a pearl diver. One day, while gathering on the seafloor, he encounters another version of himself.
Ooh. Paranormasight's not a series I've ever heard of.
Just the beginning. Soon, other strange incidents begin to plague the island. A girl with no memories, strangers searching for treasure, and a housewife investigating victims of drowning. Speaking to those involved is a natural part of the investigation, but you'll also need to search deep within the waters of Issei Bay.
Well, that's kind of a cool
As each of their motives intertwine,
that's
the
from the
story
2024,
connects to the
apparently.
mermaid legend told centuries ago.
Yeah, the portmanteau
Paranormasight,
name
The
doesn't
Mermaid's
really
Curse,
work.
Launches on Nintendo Switch.
It's not a great
February
name.
19th. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop. Battle for World Glory.
Is this another Inazuma
A new
11?
Captain Tsubasa game is kicking
Captain
its way
Tsubasa.
onto Nintendo Switch.
Different
Choose
anime
from a roster
football.
of over 110 characters representing 22 teams. Score with powerful shots from the
I
original
do
work,
love that
as
that
well as
anime
newly
sports
added
games are
special
becoming more
moves
common.
that give passes, blocks, dribbles, and tackles.
I am finally going to
Go
check
on
out
the
Inazuma
offensive
11.
against elite competitors as you aim
I
for
need to play
victory.
some anime sports games.
Gear up for sensational soccer action when Captain Tsubasa 2 World Fighters launches on the Nintendo Switch system this year.
Okay, so that's a Switch 1
Next
game.
up are games heading to Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay,
including
that's
some games
literally
that will
all of
also
the
be available
that's
on
all.
Nintendo Switch.
Okay, no, what's different here? It's coming to Switch 2, but also
life or death
some of
fight
them
for
also to Switch
survival
1.
begins.
Isn't that what the first section of this
It was
was?
a normal day until a cave-in befell the city of Tokyo. As the dust settles, our protagonist, Anne, discovers an underground world deep below the metropolis. But she's not alone. Creatures called Xeno populate the unknown expanse.
Okay, we gotta play a new Dino Crisis.
It's game over.
Oh, okay, very indie Dino
Fighting
Crisis.
is not an option, so quick thinking and decision making are vital to your survival. Analyze their patterns and find the best route to make your escape. Activate traps in each area to lure and ensnare any stalking Xeno.
Oh, so that first batch were Switch 1 games that you can play on your Switch 2, but they don't have
By
Switch 2
using GameShare,
upgrades. Whereas these
to 4
games are
players
Switch
can
1
share
games that you can
control,
get a Switch 2
including
additional.
Anne's movement and camera adjustments. Whether locally or online, coordinating with your friends is key to making it out alive.
Oh, that's weird. Use GameShare to let, like, your friend over the
Survive
internet control the camera
subterranean
while you
depths in
control the movement?
Tokyo Scramble.
That's
Launching
kind
exclusively
of
on Nintendo Switch 2,
co-pilot
February
controls?
11th. Pre-orders begin
Like
later
co-pilot
today
mode from other
on
consoles,
Nintendo
but
eShop.
only online? Ah,
Awaken your Viking spirit.
yeah, okay.
Battle, build, and conquer in this massive survival game.
Valheim! I've heard of
How
this
you go
one.
about it is entirely up to you. You could start by gathering materials around the woods,
This is, I think, the one that Arevia was playing a bunch
fashion a
of.
bow and arrows to hunt wildlife and prepare
She would
meals.
play it in co-op, and while
With
her
an
friends were
axe,
like
you
doing
can
all of
chop
the
trees to build a house.
combat stuff, she'd be like, I'm just gonna
Don't
do
get
some
hit by
farming,
falling
come back when
trees."
you're ready for food. Oh. Heavy camera
Build
shake.
pillars, install beams, construct walls.
Yeah, Tokyo Scramble I'm
add a
intrigued by. I
fireplace.
don't necessarily think I'm
Now
going to enjoy
you're
it, but I'm
safe,
intrigued by
even
it.
from the cold. Wait, is this ventilated? Don't forget the chimney too. By upgrading your crafting stations, you can make items of higher quality. And once you've built a ship, set sail on the high seas to reach new lands.
Yeah, I think this is the one I'm thinking of.
And create
Arevia
even more
can't do
strongholds.
the on a boat
Plus,
stuff
up to
because motion
10
sickness, so
players
stays on the
online
land
can
farming
explore this vast
during
world
those
together.
bits. I think this is the one. I'm aware of video games that happen.
Now, go forth and survive in Valheim, launching on Nintendo Switch 2 this year. Find your way forward in these games.
Ooh, big yawn. Here it
Return to the
is.
kingdom of Hollow Nest and
The
fight
Switch
back
2
the
port of
infection
Hollow Knight.
in this upgraded modern classic.
This is
Dodge,
releasing today
dash,
for
and
sure.
slash through this
Where
2D
is
action
this? This is
adventure
on my
platformer,
bingo board.
Now with enhanced
Um,
visuals and improved frame rates on Nintendo Switch 2. Equip charms to enhance
But
your
yeah, do you want to play
abilities
this at
and
120
deal
FPS?
magic
You can do
damage
that
using
now.
upgradable spells while exploring the vast interconnected map. Descend into a world of insects and heroes when Hollow Knight Nintendo Switch 2 Edition launches on
In
Nintendo
the
Switch
Japanese
2
Direct, they announced the
later
Grand Blue
today.
Fantasy Relink
Nintendo
game.
Switch 2
Okay.
players who have Hollow Knight on Nintendo Switch can upgrade to the Nintendo Switch 2 Edition for free with the
Okay.
upgrade pack.
Okay, it's a free upgrade. That's nice.
eFootball, reborn from Pro Evolution Soccer, is coming to Nintendo Switch
Okay,
2.
this is renamed
Build out your
Pro
club,
Evo.
sign legendary players, and compete in tournaments around the globe in World Tour mode. Join an exciting competition where national teams face off every 4 years in the International Cup Tournament. Or play with friends locally or online to prove who's at the top of their
Look,
game.
I have no interest in like
Experience the
realistic
excitement of
football
soccer
games.
and aim to be the
I can
best
tell
in
you
the
that
world,
EA
man.
FC, the
eFootball
FIFA
Kickoff
one,
launches on
that one has high
Nintendo Switch
contrast
2
mode.
this summer.
So that makes me lean that way.
Travel through 4 ages in a brand new HD 2D
Oh yeah, I
action
should have put this on
RPG.
here. I was
Explore the
predicting
age of
last night that we'd see an
safekeeping, the
Adventures of
hero
Elliot
Elliot's own
release date
time.
today.
The age of reconstruction, when humans nearly went
I
extinct.
kind of enjoyed the demo for this. The
Age
demo
of
was
magic,
pretty
a
fun.
time when spells flourished.
I might check
And
this
the
one
age
out.
of budding, the birth of
I
human
would like to be able to
civilization.
tell
In each
my little
age,
helper
the
to
scenery
shut the
and
fuck up a bit,
citizens
but
of Elliot's hometown will change. You can also obtain some weapons and magic unique to certain time periods. A story
but aesthetically
spanning
very
time
cool
will
and it
soon
played
begin.
nicely.
The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, launches on the Nintendo Switch 2 system, June 18th. Have a blast
Oh,
with
Bomberman!
Super Bomberman games from the Super NES era.
This was something I saw
Play
people
the
talking
first
about the idea
Super
of
Bomberman
that completely
through to the culmination of the
left my
series,
mind.
Super Bomberman 5, including titles previously unreleased worldwide.
Okay,
The
that's
Famicom
a neat
versions of
collection.
Bomberman and Bomberman 2 are also included. Plus, there's a brand new Boss Rush mode, as well as Game Share support.
I am really glad Game Share is taking off
Super
as a thing.
Bomberman Collection launches on Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch
Yeah.
later today.
Okay, we're getting some nice shadow drops
The
today.
unknown
Here we
journey
go.
continues.
This is one of the predictions. They're going to show
The
us just a
second
little
entry
bit,
in the
a little bit of the
Final
open
Fantasy VII
world.
Remake series is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
happened? He's alive.
In
I just
pursuit
want to
of
see
his
that the
arch
open world
nemesis
runs at a
Sephiroth,
decent frame rate.
Cloud
If it runs
Strife
at a
and
solid
his
30 in the open
comrades
world,
escape the city of
then
Midgar
100%
and
I'm in
embark
for
on a
this.
journey across the vast world.
Yeah, I guarantee. Yeah,
Traverse the
the fact
planet
that
on
this has shown up
chocobos,
today, I
wheels,
guarantee Part 3 will
in
be
a
day
buggy,
and date on
or
Switch
other
2.
modes of transportation.
Oh,
Team
I
up with
loved
allies
this.
in battles, blending
Fucking
action
loved
and
this.
strategy. If you'd like to focus on the story, there's also a boost function to make combat easier.
Yeah, this is
You'll
my
also
excuse to
find
replay
various
this.
activities scattered across the world, allowing you to
Okay,
take a break
FF7
from the
Part
action.
2, yeah.
You're mine.
I'm calling it
As you
now. If this
interact
gets
with
a
your
date,
allies,
the date is in like
their affinity toward you
June.
will grow and impact how the story
It's
unfolds.
going to be right before Summer Games
What
Fest,
fate awaits Cloud
so
and
that
his
they can
crew
talk about
in
Part
their
3
pursuit
in
of
Summer Games
Sephiroth?
Fest.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth
Like May, June.
launches on Nintendo
Yeah,
Switch
yeah,
2,
literally
June 3rd.
2 days before Summer
Pre-orders
Games Fest.
begin
Called it.
later today on Nintendo eShop.
It's going to come out just before Summer Games Fest so that they can talk about Part 3 dropping on all platforms on the same day.
Vitals stable. Awakening subject.
Here we go,
While
Pragmata. This is going to get a
investigating
demo
the Lunar
today.
Research Station,
I
an
call it.
injury
This
befalls
gets a demo
spacefarer
today.
Hugh
That's why it's getting a
Williams.
trailer. There's
With
been
him
footage
is
of this
Diana,
floating around for
an
2 or 3
android
days.
called a
It runs really
Pragmata.
nicely on Switch
you
too,
are.
Pragmata.
All better.
Gameplay seems to be 60 FPS
Classified
on
as
Switch too,
unauthorized
which is really
intruders.
nice.
The two are targeted by the station AI, which
Yeah.
sends
Some
enemy
of this
bots
I
at
have
you.
a feel for. So yeah, this is first-person shooter where the little girl helps
These
you hack
bots have
robots.
near impenetrable armor.
I think I can help.
People are still
With
saying this
Diana's
is a stealth
hacking
Mega Man
skills,
game, and I
you
love
can
the
break
theory.
down their defenses.
So in real time, you do puzzle gameplay while the enemy
By
still
moving the
walks at
cursor through
you.
panels toward the green goal, you can hack the enemy bots.
There's no time to explain. Shoot now.
Once their weak points are exposed,
open the weak points
fire
up.
away.
I hacked it.
Depending on the nodes you pass through, you can modify the damage and effects of a hack. Each split-second decision can change
Like,
the
this looks
outcome of
fucking
battle.
nice. This is a nice looking port.
Energy levels.
What truths will the
Yeah,
two
there's good
find in
gameplay
this
floating around to this.
AI-controlled lunar station?
The hair becomes a little bit single texture occasionally, but that's really the graphic sacrifice they're making. I'm so continuously impressed at Capcom's ability to get their games running like really nicely on Switch and Switch 2.
This is how we say good
RE
job.
Engine scales really nicely.
And what will Diana learn on this journey?
That she's Mega Man.
Pragmata launches on Nintendo Switch 2, April 24th.
Is that the same day as
A
other?
demo will be
Yeah, there we
available
go.
later today
Called it demo
on
today. That's
Nintendo
why we're seeing
eShop.
it. Is April 24th the same day as it releases on other platforms? Does anyone
we hope you're
know?
looking forward to fast-paced combat and exploration with a unique combination of hacking and
I feel like
shooting.
that's the same day.
Let's continue with more headlines.
Yeah, Mega Man, more like Mega Girl.
Journey to the Lost Lands. Become a legendary Turok warrior in this
Why am I having
intergalactic
such
action
problems
shooter.
with I'm not streaming to you at
Action shooter.
1440p, but I want to see it at
To stop an
1440p.
alien threat from destroying all human life, you'll journey solo or with a team
What
of
game is this? I
warriors
missed what
online
game this
and
is.
battle all sorts
Okay,
of
it's the
primal
same date as
creatures
PS5.
in
Cool, yeah.
ferocious combat.
Yeah, that's the
Swap
other
between
thing.
first-person and
Capcom's
third-person
like
perspectives
PS5,
as you unleash
PS5 and
weapons,
Xbox
melee
Series
attacks,
games are coming
and
to Switch
special
2
abilities to
at 60
devastate
FPS
foes.
on the same launch
Extract
day.
DNA from fallen
They are
enemies and the
100%
environment to
the
upgrade
strongest
your arsenal,
third-party support
evolve
right
your
now
mantle,
for Switch 2, and
unlock
it's
even more
real good to
abilities
see.
called Echo Syncs to gain a greater
Turok
edge in
Origins, is
combat.
that what this is? Oh, cool. I was gonna say it looks very Turok.
As you venture across breathtaking worlds, you'll unravel the mysteries.
Yeah,
that
I
ultimately hold
like
the key
shooting.
to
I like
saving
shooting a laser
humanity.
raptor as much as the next person. I'll take a Turok.
Turok Origins launches on Nintendo Switch 2 this fall.
Okay.
Uncover the truth.
Hey,
of
who was
Xanadu.
it that kept talking about Xanadu in the chat? I wasn't going to put it on my predictions board, but you were confident and
Another
you were
world
right.
exists that's encroaching on our own. A world where
Look, I know
monsters
nothing
roam
about what
free.
Xanadu is, other than that you keep mentioning it.
A boy named
NK
Red
Man.
must use his newly awakened powers
I'm
against
seeing
the
it now
threat
and going,
as he
actually,
joins
this looks kind of cool.
Hirosaka
Maybe I
Academy,
should have
a
paid
school
attention
for
to you talking
gifted
about
students.
Xanadu.
The Academy's goal? Conquer Xanadu, the great labyrinth rumored to be the origin of this other world. While
Ooh.
traversing the labyrinth,
Oh,
hone your
okay.
abilities and reshape the
Don't know what I
terrain
thought
to
genre-wise this
expand
was
the
gonna be.
range of your exploration.
Didn't think it was
Then,
this.
Take
Huh.
on dangerous enemies in 3D action RPG combat. Use your powers to overcome foes.
Okay, there's side-scrolling and third-party combat, or third-person combat. Okay,
Outside the labyrinth, improve your stats
and Persona School stuff.
and spend time with your friends.
Sorry,
as
whenever
you
I hear
prepare to
Xanadu, I
conquer
think of
Xanadu.
the fictional
The
gambling
battle
space
between
station
man
in
and
Bridge
monster
Command,
begins.
the knockoff
Discover
Star
the
Trek
truth,
LARP that I
Mo.
attend. Their gambling planet is called Xanadu.
Kyoto Xanadu
So that's
launches
all
on
I can think of
Nintendo
when I hear
Switch 2
Xanadu.
and Nintendo Switch systems this summer. Check out these anime-style games.
An-amazing games. Ha.
It's time to evolve in the latest
Here it is.
Digimon story
Come on.
game.
Tell me
One
this is
day,
coming
a
soon.
powerful
This is
blast
what I've been
causes
holding
the
off
world
for.
to collapse
I was gonna
and
play this
sends
over the
you
Christmas
8 years
holidays,
into the
and then
past.
I got tipped
With
off
over
it was coming to Switch 2,
450
and I
Digimon
went,
to
fuck it,
collect
I'll play it on
and
Switch
venture
2.
through the human world and
I-
digital world. to
I haven't
save
said
our
this. This is
future.
why I didn't end up playing it over the Christmas break. Is because I heard the
And
Switch
on
2 version was
Nintendo
coming.
Switch
And
2, you can select quality mode, playing
Okay,
in
4K
4K, 30 frames
30,
per second,
or
performance mode, playing in full
oh,
HD at
oh,
60 frames
that's
per
nice.
second.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Digimon Story Time Stranger launches on the
July
Nintendo
10th.
Switch
Okay,
2
it's a little
and
further out than
Nintendo
I'd hoped,
Switch
but
systems, July
Yeah,
10th.
I will play
Pre-orders
this.
begin later today on Nintendo
I've been
eShop.
waiting for a handheld port of
An
this because I know I'll
adventure
actually
set high in
complete
the
it.
sky is soaring in.
There it is, Granblue
Form
Fantasy
your party
Relink.
from a roster of over 20
The Japan
characters,
Direct
each
showed
with
it a
their
little
own
earlier in
fighting
the
style.
stream, but here it is.
Channel the power of teamwork and summon mighty primal beasts
Okay.
to vanquish your enemies. You can also team
This
up
is a
in
Granblue
local
that
or
isn't,
online multiplayer.
yeah, huh.
I love it!
Blue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok launches on Nintendo Switch 2, July 9th.
Okay, it looks like we have about 10 minutes left, maybe. We're going.
The latest Monster Hunter Stories
Monster Hunter
game
Stories,
is
yeah.
flying in.
Probably should have predicted that this was going to
Your
get a
monster
show.
allies, called Monsties, can learn special abilities
Monster
through a
Hunter- the Monster
ceremony
Hunter Stories
called
games
the
are
Rite
really
of
cool.
Channeling. Raise your Monsties as you travel the world.
Calling them Monsties is the biggest mistake
The
this
lands
series
lie on
made
the
in
brink of
English.
disaster. Monsters
It's
are
a
on the
really
verge
cool
of
series
extinction,
that it's hard to
and
take
the
seriously when it
trying to
calls them
save the world
Monsties.
will have to contend with an even greater threat. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection soars
Okay.
onto Nintendo Switch 2, March 13th.
Well,
A
it
demo
doesn't.
will be available
It doesn't
later
surprise me
today
that
on
they,
Nintendo
the
eShop.
Japanese ones in a different
Save data
order.
can be
They
transferred to the
they know
full
that
game once
different
purchased.
regions gamers have different things
New
that they'll get
titles are
excited
joining
about.
The archives.
Something being an 80s anime aesthetic is cooler to us because we don't get much of that.
Rave Racer, published by Namco
Yeah,
in
demo, hell yeah.
1995, speeds into the Arcade Archives 2 lineup. Aim for first place in a race against your rivals.
Rave Racer.
And get ready for a new line of home console titles. Console Archives is on the way.
Okay.
Doraemon. Sonic Wings Special.
Sure.
And more will be released over time.
Oh,
First wave
Monster
of Console
Rancher.
Archives titles includes Cool Borders.
Shouldn't this stuff be on NSO? Yeah, but that would
and
require
Ninja
these
Gaiden
companies
2, the Dark Sword of
to be
Chaos.
willing to put them on NSO when they could just
These
sell them
titles
themselves.
will be available on Nintendo Switch 2 later today.
Yeah, Doraemon NES in English, apparently. Okay, sizzle real quick. Scott Pilgrim, March. This does look real nice. Another Eden Begins. I really overpredicted for this direct. Not to say it's been a bad one. There's a Pragmata demo today. That's pretty fucking cool. Honestly, that's the big thing that come out of today. That I can play a Pragmata demo today. That's all I really needed to know. I just want to play some Pragmata. Oh, it's only in Japanese, the Doraemon game. It said in small text, apparently. Oh, this was one of my predictions. Demo today. Tell me there's a demo today. They said demo early February. I called that it was going to be here. I reckon there's a demo coming imminently. I really thought that, like, demo available now was going to be their big push for that. Damn, that was my center square. Concept begins. I want that Voyager demo to drop already. I'm in Star Trek mode. I want to play the stupid Star Trek thing. I want to play it on my handheld. I want to check it performs well there, because that's where I want to play it.
Why are you hiding? Let's make some noise.
Tales of Arise, Beyond the Dawn. Yeah, I need the EMH.
We
I
found
need my
another body.
emergency medical hologram.
Your eyes on the crime scene.
Now,
When
this
string
getting a
of
trailer is
mysterious deaths
interesting.
occurs across America.
Are we getting a demo?
FBI
maybe?
analyst Grace Ashcroft
Could we
is
be getting a
captured by
demo?
the suspect while investigating the case.
I would love it if both of Capcom's games got demos today. Mr. X looking dork. I want to try out the third person
In her
mode
attempt to
this.
escape, Grace comes up against
I think we got
unknown
about
threats.
6 minutes to go, so we should have more trailers after this.
A limited supply of healing items
haven't
and
said
ammunition
last
are at her
trailer.
disposal. Will she confront
Yeah,
the
this also
threats
seems to
head
run
on,
at 60
or
FPS, which is
save her
pretty
ammo
good.
for the next encounter? For Grace, Impending doom is always close at hand.
I'm pleased that a lot of the
Meanwhile,
the dynamic
another
lighting
agent
stuff has
working for
stayed.
an
has stayed
anti-bioterrorism
intact here.
organization is also on the case.
I'm
Leon
happy for a bit of a
S.
sacrifice in resolution to get like the proper moody lighting stuff happening.
With his physical prowess, Leon can parry an opponent's attack, then strike
Well,
to break
well, the
a
reason
stunned
they point
opponent's
out a limited
stance
supply
in
of items and
close-quarters
ammunition is
combat.
that Leon's part of the campaign is
He can
not going to
fire
be
from a
that.
distance using
Hers is going to be
handguns
like
and
proper
rifles.
spooky. I'm at risk.
Use an enemy's weapon against
survival
them.
horror,
Leon
whereas the
has a
Leon
very
bits are gonna be
arsenal of attacks at his
action.
disposal.
Resi.
This game features both third-person and first-person camera perspectives.
Thank
and
you.
can change your perspective at any
For
time.
motion sickness purposes, I'm so glad I can play third
There are
person.
multiple difficulty options available, including a mode for less experienced players that features aim assist.
Oh, hell yes.
Guide Grace as she attempts to
Thank you for
escape
some aim assist.
unprecedented terrors, and Leon, who relies on strength to carve his own path. What will they discover when their fates intertwine? Resident Evil Requiem launches on the Nintendo Switch 2
Demo?
system February 27th.
Come on, go on,
Pre-orders are available now
Come on, demo.
Nintendo eShop.
Oh, demo.
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and Resident Evil Village
Okay,
will
we
also
knew
be
these were
available the
happening.
same day.
He's a boy,
Horde
so he
building
relies on
awaits,
strength.
whether you
He doesn't
play these
rely on
games
thoughts.
or
Boys don't
Resident
have
Evil
those.
Requiem first.
They don't do
Plus,
thoughts.
a Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller featuring original art is releasing alongside.
That's a curious controller
Amiibo
design.
Figures of Grace and Leon will also be available this summer. You can scan them to receive in-game weapon skins. Resident Evil Requiem, the latest entry in the Resident
Okay, what
Evil
else?
series.
What are we
is
ending
launching
on?
later this month. You can also look forward to a creator's voice.
This might be
video
the first
featuring
Pro
a member
Controller
of the
2
Resident
variant,
Evil
yeah.
Requiem development team. The video will release in the near future.
I do love that those are just
Is our last
amiibos of real ass people.
Hey everybody from all of us
Okay,
here
this
at
leaks,
Bethesda Game
yeah.
Studios. If you're like us, Nintendo has meant so much to you from your early days of gaming to now. It was
Indiana Jones
incredible
and
for us
Fallout
to
4 and
partner on the
Skyrim are
original
getting release
Switch,
dates
And it
today.
was just such a great piece of hardware and also so personal when you play. We're excited to finally bring
It's
a number of
Todd.
our franchises for the first
I'm curious
time
to see
Nintendo.
what
We hope
the
you all enjoy
Indiana
the
Jones
journey.
gameplay looks, what it looks like graphically.
Vault Dwellers,
Here we go, Fallout
welcome
4.
home. Fallout 4
Yeah.
Anniversary Edition is emerging on Nintendo Switch 2. Scavenge, shoot, build, and create alliances as you reshape the wasteland and what remains of civilization. Every choice matters. Fancy yourself a smooth
Yep.
talker or pining to pump up your power armor. Choose from hundreds of perks that fit your playstyle.
So yeah,
Every
Skyrim's
road
getting a
leads
physical
somewhere
version
new.
as well,
From
and
the heart
so's
of Diamond
Indiana
City
Jones.
to the shadowy corners of forgotten vaults, the Commonwealth is packed with stories waiting to be uncovered. In addition to the base game, experience 6 official expansions and over 150 creation
The
club
Skyrim
items
port,
to expand your adventure.
The Switch 2
Grab
update
your
made it
Pip-Boy
run worse, and then they
traverse the
updated it
wasteland
again,
in
and I think they fixed it, and it
Fallout
works
4
okay now.
Anniversary Edition.
February
Launching on
24th,
Nintendo
yeah.
Switch 2, February 24th. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop.
And Skyrim,
The year is 1937.
and here it is, Indiana Jones.
Sinister forces are on the hunt for an ancient power, and only one
A
person
game that
can
ran
stop
poorly
them.
even on PC.
Embark on a globe-trotting cinematic adventure in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
I'm
Set
surprised
between
this
the
is
events
running
of
as
Raiders of the
graphically
Lost
well as
Ark
it
and
is.
The Last Crusade. Indy will
Many
journey
years
around
ago,
the
I
world
did mock
to
review work
uncover
on
the
this
mystery
game, and
behind the Great
it-
Circle.
It was
From the
taxing
pyramids
even
of
for a
Giza
decent
to the
PC.
sunken temples of Sukhothai and beyond.
It did not run well on
Use your
PC, and
wits
from
to
what I hear, it
infiltrate
didn't run
historic
well on
areas
PC
and
at
solve
launch.
fiendish puzzles.
Yeah, this is a Microsoft game, and I'm
Face
still
off against
boycotting them.
dangerous
I haven't
foes
played anything
and
Microsoft since
explore
the
a world
BDS
full of
boycott stuff
daring
happened.
escapes and unforgettable encounters.
I did mock review
Adventure
work on this
calls,
game
Len.
like 2 years ago,
Indiana
which is
Jones
before
and the
the
Great Circle launches on Nintendo
before the
Switch
boycott
2,
shit started.
May 12th.
Um,
Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo
I don't know
eShop.
about Poké Night at the Inventory and the Japanese Direct. I didn't watch the
Explore
Japanese Direct,
vast
so I don't know.
landscape of Cyrodiil in the Elder
Um,
Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Experience this renowned
Oh!
open-world RPG now on a Nintendo system.
Oh, didn't
for
expect
the
this.
first time.
Was this Oblivion? Is this Oblivion? Ah,
Freely
I thought we were going to
customize
see
your character
Skyrim.
to match your playstyle. Then adventure
Yeah,
amongst an
to be honest,
unforgettable cast of
usually this
characters.
would be the point where I'd be talking about the BDS boycott stuff, and I'm going to be honest, I'm tired today.
And
Go
fight
look up
back
why
the
we're
Daedra to
boycotting
close shut the jaws of
Microsoft.
Oblivion. Master ranged
Forgive
or
me,
melee
I'm
weapons.
tired. I can't be asked
Wield
to pull the
powerful
link up
magic,
and have a
or
rant
use
today.
stealth skills to best your foes. In
I'm
this
doing the
remastered
boycotting.
version, character
I've many a
models,
time done
weapons,
streams where I
even
have
rocks
muted
and
the stream
sweet rolls
and
have
talked
all
about
been
why we're doing the
meticulously
boycott.
recreated.
Some days I'm just
Combat
tired, you know.
animations have also been updated to give them a modernized touch. Plus, the Shivering Isles and Knights of the Nine expansions are included.
Yes.
Alongside
There are
the
many
main
games from
story to
accessibility
take your
purposes I
adventure
really would
even
have loved to have
further.
checked out last year.
Step through the gates once more.
I haven't
when
played Doom the Dark
Elder
Ages.
Scrolls 4
From an
Oblivion
accessibility
Remastered
perspective, it seemed like a
launches on
really
the
interesting
Nintendo
game. I
Switch 2
probably should have
system
opinions
this
on, but I
year.
didn't check it out because boycott, you know.
We hope you're
I'm
excited for
doing-
these
I'm
games
doing
from
me best.
Bethesda Softworks. That's all
Yeah,
for today's
People Make Games have a
Nintendo
good
Direct
video about the
Partner
boycott.
Showcase.
Go look at the VODs for
Thank you for
any
watching.
showcase where Xbox have shown up prior to today. So, the bingo. Not a successful bingo. Not a successful bingo. But I am going to hang around on stream and see whether that Pragmata demo is available now. Because if it is, we might hang around on stream and just play the Pragmata demo. Because I do really want to try it. Give me a second to see if that's available yet. You know what? Screw it. I can pull the Switch up and have a look. Move over. Aha! We move over to this screen. Give me a second to close the Nintendo Direct tabs, and then gonna close. I gotta turn my controllers on. I gotta get the chat back up. How is Hi-Fi Rush not being announced? Hi-Fi Rush port not being announced yet? I don't bloody know. Yeah, if the Pragmata demo's not up yet, then I'm probably gonna win the stream because I've got to binge Star Trek Prodigy ready for a project I'm doing with Jeffrey. But if the Pragmata demo's up now, then maybe I stream Pragmata for a bit first, maybe. Let me pull this up. Here's what I'll say for people who are like, not a particularly exciting direct. There's a rumor that there's a main direct in like 2 weeks, which is probably where some of the bigger stuff's being saved for. Recent releases. Coming soon. Can I get... Where would I have to look for Pragmata? Let's have a look. Pragmata. Do we have a demo yet? No. Demo's coming today. The easiest way to do this is delete this. We go down to the bottom. Software with demos. Nope. Come on, where's my Pragmata demo? Where's me demo for the Star Trek thing? Where's my YouTube app? Yeah, you got to temper your expectations for the partner directs. The partner directs are stuff that we want to show off, but we don't want to use up space in a main direct for. What time is it now? It's 2 in the afternoon. It's probably going to be 4 p.m. when the eShop sometime... 4 p.m. UK, which is like an hour and a half from now, is often when the eShop updates, and that's when these things will probably arrive. Faker says, I was expecting like an Atlas port or something. As I said before, it's hard to know with a partner direct. stuff like that may just be being saved for their next main direct. It's really hard to know what size of... Because, like, a bunch of Bethesda games, that's a pretty big thing to show off. Pragmata getting a demo, that's a pretty big thing to show off. But then also, a bunch of stuff that we know for a fact is happening didn't show up. Presumably because it's like, no, we decided that's big enough to be in its own thing. I mean, a quick scroll through here. Pragmata, nope. Also, Pragmata's getting a demo despite being an April game, whereas February game, Resident Evil Requiem, not getting a demo. Okay. That was a decent time. We made some predictions. We had a good time hanging out together. I'm gonna head off because I gotta go finish binging Star Trek for work purposes. If the Pragmata demo pops up, I might stream it a little later today. Right, look, they said Star Trek Voyage is getting a Switch 2 demo in early February. Today seemed like such a sensible day. Have a good rest of